Welcome back to Healthy Bites. Today I am going to show you a version of the very popular curdy, but I'm not going to be using curds. I'm instead going to use peanut curds. So whether it is known as curdy in North India or majge holi or morkolom, this is my recipe for a dill and peanut curdy. The ingredients are peanuts that have been soaked overnight in water and retain their water, jaggery, lemon juice, hing or asafoetida, salt, basin, jeera, curry leaves, dried red chili, mustard seeds, dill and ginger garlic chili paste. So the first step is to puree the peanuts to make our peanut curd. Now it's very important that you keep the peanut in the same water that you soaked it in. Don't change the water because all the nutrients from the peanuts would have leaked into the water a little bit. So we're losing a lot if we throw this water out. So put it into the mixie and blend it until it is nice and fine. So the peanuts have been pureed and you can see we've got this lovely white creamy liquid. What I'm going to do is now separate the milk from the curd, and all you need to do is just put it in through a sieve and just let it sieve down. And I've got the pan on the heat because what we're going to do is turn this peanut milk into peanut curd. Extremely simple process. Just gently heat the peanut milk, and as it heats it actually starts to thicken, and once it thickens about 10-15 minutes down the line, we'll add a little bit of lemon juice. Now the reason I like to use peanut milk instead of normal milk is that when you look at the way normal milk is processed, it's really scary. The amount of antibiotics that's pumped into cows so that they can produce 10, 15, 20, even 30 liters of milk a day is not worth it. All of that is going into our bodies. And if you look at the average age of puberty, it's becoming earlier and earlier. So my grandmother's generation, they all hit puberty and adolescence only in their teens, 15, 16. But what's happening nowadays, we have girls who are starting their periods at 9, boys' voices are breaking at the age of 10, and that's not helping us because things are happening way too fast. And one of the reasons contributed to this could be the amount of chemicals that is there in milk. And dairy products are given to us all the time, saying, you need to get calcium from this and from that. But I believe that you can get calcium in so many other ways. It doesn't have to be from pure milk. Have you ever asked how much calcium is there in milk actually? Why does the baby cow not continue to drink this milk even post, say, they have grown up from their infancy because there's so much of calcium in the milk? Why do we as humans run after this milk? Ask yourselves those questions and see the answers. Do you like the answers? Do you like the amount of chemicals going in? If your answer is no, let's start looking at alternatives, and peanut curd is one of them. And of course, green leafy vegetables are definitely a whole lot more calcium than just a glass of milk. So you can see that the curd has come down. Okay, just transfer this. We're going to use it as part of the process again and gently heat this for the next 10 minutes. So the peanut milk has thickened beautifully. You can see that it was initially bubbling a lot and now it has come down, which means it's reached the correct consistency. At this point, add a little bit of lemon juice and keep it on the heat and stir it through. And you'll find that it starts to thicken even more. At this point, switch it off and give it a few minutes for all the reactions to set in. And in the meantime, the peanut grind that we had, I'm going to mix it up with a little bit of ginger garlic chili paste and make it into a fine paste. So you can see how beautifully this has thickened. It's like curd, and that is exactly what peanut curd looks like. So it's time to add the basin, and this is what essentially makes a curdy. So I'm adding only a little bit of it because I'm also using the peanut to thicken it. So whisk the basin in, and it's good to use a whisk at this point because then you're not left with any lumps. And I'm going to use dill to flavor this curry because dill is a really underused sopu or a herb, but then it has beautiful nutrition in it. It has the best source of calcium, iron, vitamin as compared to even palak. It's significantly better than palak. And this is the peanut paste along with the ginger chili garlic paste. I'm just going to add that in. Keep stirring it and let this cook for maybe say 5 minutes or so. Then we'll come back to it. So the peanut curd mixture has been bubbling for about 10-15 minutes, and it's time to move on to the next step, and that is putting the dill in. So be careful, it's spluttering quite a bit at this point. So remove it carefully, add in the dill, And this is also the time to add in salt. Now I don't add salt beforehand because it allows the peanut curd to develop its own flavor then. So add in enough salt. And then just stir it in and let it cook for a few more minutes while we make a tadka. Now the reason that I put in the dill at this point and not earlier is that when you cook dill for a long time, it loses its flavor. It actually becomes less dilly. So it's good to add it towards the end of a cooking process and not right at the beginning. Then that enhanced flavor won't be there. So I'm going to make the tadka without oil because oil is highly processed and very detrimental to our body. So it's actually not good to have oil, whether it is refined or unrefined. So in any recipe, if you can substitute the oil or remove it completely, that's the best thing to do. So to make a tadka, all you need to do is have a pan that is really nice and hot and then add all your ingredients. So I'm putting mustard seeds, jeera, curry patta and some dried red chili. Let them start popping and then I will add the hing right at the end. And this will be ready to put into the curry as soon as the dill has sort of settled in with everything and the peanut curd has cooked out. So you can hear it spluttering and starting. It's got that same aroma as if you would boil it in oil, and it's also got that same kind of noise, the tick 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 tick. All of that is happening without oil, and that's so much healthier for us. So since I started making tadkas this way a year and a half ago, I haven't made it any other way. I have definitely not needed to use any amount of oil in the tadkas. I'm putting in the hing, switching off the heat and just stirring it around. Okay, and that's it. Another 5 minutes or so of the dill cooking in this and the curry will be ready. So the dill has cooked in nicely and time for the finishing touches. Just a little bit of lemon juice to give it that twang. I'm going to put in about a teaspoon or a little less of jaggery just to balance out the sourness, and then our tadka. And that's it. Your curry with a difference is ready. So spoon it out, serve it with some lovely brown rice or a nice millet roti, and that's the perfect accompaniment. So this is my recipe for curry with a twist, made with peanuts and dill, both superfoods in their own right, and an extremely healthy alternative to eating something with dairy. 1 cup of this is more than equivalent to all our calcium requirements for a whole day. So try it out and feed your family with this superfood recipe.